Here we are at Eccles Elementary School to take a look at the tank where the salmon have been growing for the past few months. Out in the stream we saw what makes a good habitat for growing salmon, and here the students will tell us how they try to maintain a healthy habitat for those salmon they raised. We're here with Kate Morse, who's going to explain a little bit more about the project. Kate is Program Director for the Copper River Watershed Project. Tell us about this project.
So I'm one partner that works with some other community partners and the students at Mount Eccles to maintain the salmon tank here in the elementary school. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game manages this program across the state to help students learn more about the early life stages of salmon that are hard to see in the wild. So I have two students here that are going to help with our routine tank maintenance. So we're going to start with Aaron, who's going to explain one of the daily routines that we do here in Cordova for the salmon tank.
We're gonna measure the temperature, and we want cold water. We don't want warm water. Anything over 12 is bad.
Great. And what kind of water is in the tank? Go ahead, you can keep measuring.
Fresh water, and I think it was what it is.
All right, so Anika's recording that, and then we also add that temperature to all the accumulated thermal units that we have calculated since the salmon went into this tank. Aaron, why don't you switch and come over here?
I'm going to be doing the dissolved oxygen.
So why do we want to measure dissolved oxygen? Why is that important for our fish?
See if they have enough oxygen in the water because they breathe in the water instead of coming up for air.
Why don't you make this one your sample? All right, so while she's doing that test, you see that container? Do you want to go do the same thing with that one that she just did? So you can go around to the side. So why don't you show everyone how you get that filled with our sample of water?
You take this thing and you break the tip.
Break the tip off, and using capillary action, it fills up with our water sample. So why are you moving it up and down like that? What does that do?
Move the bubble up and down to mix everything up.
Great. So we have to let that one rest a minute, right? Squeeze out the rest and carefully step on down. Okay, I'm just going to step in front of you here. So with our ammonia test, do we want a lot of ammonia or a little ammonia?
A little.
Little to no. So this is a measure of ammonia comes from the fish as they excrete their waste. And so we want to make sure that their water is healthy for the fish. All right, so 2 drops of this. And I'm going to give you one of these. And first you're going to use it like a mixing spoon to mix those 2 drops into it. So before you break it, there you go. And then you can go ahead and do that same thing, break that tip off so it fills up with water, a little bit harder. There you go. Perfect. So now you go ahead and you can just set that back down on the counter. Do you want to grab those comparison tubes there, Anika, so we can get our dissolved oxygen? Whew. All right, so what do you say? Are we at the top?
I think it's pretty much filled.
I think we have a lot of oxygen in our tank. That's a good thing. So do you want to record that for me on our data sheet? Let's go ahead and looks like it's less than that. And then because ammonia, they want to measure traces of it. Those are our whole numbers. And let's go ahead and drop this in here. And this allows us to compare it to the decimal points. So which one does it look like on the bottom there? Go ahead and point to it, and then we'll see what the number is on the side.
It looks like that one.
You agree?
This one or that one?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
All right, what does it say on the side?
0 or 0.1.
All right, so very low levels. So we can go ahead, let's see. I think we're safe to call it 0. All right, well, we've got healthy water, we've got happy fish. What's the last thing that they need in their habitat? You think they're hungry?
Food. Yeah.
All right, let's feed them.
They're going for the food. No wonder that you're skinny.
Perfect, yep. All right, do we have everything recorded? And everything looks like it's running. We've got oxygen, we've got our water being cooled. I think we're done here.